this is Speed from Soilwork, and you're colliding with Yell magazine. I feel like I usually gauge my success on like how many people we draw, you know, because that's really important, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's really where the bands make their living nowadays, and
right.
It's definitely rough, you know. Just because you sell a lot of records doesn't necessarily mean you're going to draw a lot of people.
Right.
So that's definitely something we're working hard at as well. But obviously this helps, you know, with chart entries and all of that. You know, it definitely creates a hype, you know,
right.
and plus I think the album deserves that as well, because I'm really proud of it, and fans definitely seem to be, you know, united and really love the album. You know, even people who hasn't listened to us like since Chain Heart Machine, I was like, oh, this is what I'm talking about, you know. So
yeah. Is there an overall theme on the new album?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's somewhat of a conceptual album. You know, it deals with a lot of existential questions and matters. So this is really my way of coming to terms with a lot of the thinking I've been doing the latest years, and you know, reaching a point of acceptance where I can't get answers to all those questions and kind of just leave it be, you know. I mean, lyrically, it's, you know, it's really what I see and feel and how I develop, you know, and make comparisons to myself, and musically, I always try to connect to, like I mentioned before, I'm like a nostalgic and sentimental person, I guess, in a sense, but I kind of reconnect with my childhood, you know, in melodies. When I can reconnect through a melody to my childhood, then I know it's good.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as music fans, we know that music often has is like a soundtrack to our lives. And
yeah.
We can hear a song and take us down.
Yeah, it really is for me. Like, it's really...
Is there like one particular song that really like punches you in the stomach, kind of thing?
Well, there's a couple of on the new album for sure, and I mean that little infectious melody on "Living Infinite One," you know, there's something about that. It's almost like mentioned like classic video games. It's almost kind of like C64 kind of, because there was a lot of games back then that had great music. And, yeah.
From the one I knew, I kill every minute ago. While the ocean brings me back to life, I live, I breathe, I learn to be deceived. Show them what it's worth, first to make it work. I feel I'm chosen to see what others haven't seen. It's not eternity, it's just reality, but how it makes a delay. Now I see us back to loving, trying not die. A thousand of demons, a never-ending list of
I always try to sign as many things as I can and come out and talk to people. And, you know, it would become pretty boring to just be, you know, hiding all day and go on stage and then not meet the people that actually buy your music and, you know, and feel inspired from your music even. So I think that's really important.
Is there a fan story that stands out in particular that, you know, maybe the band and the music helped them overcome something tragic?
Oh yeah, a lot of them. I've gotten so many emails, you know, and just recently I got an email from a family that we actually decided to dedicate the new album to a person, a kid who was really into Soilwork and was a singer himself, and I got an email from the family thanking us for doing that, you know, putting his name in the booklet and saying how inspiring that was, and they will never forget seeing him singing to my vocals, which is
Yeah, I would almost.
That's
wonder-
really powerful, for sure. You know, it's so hard to grasp, you know. But at the same time, it's definitely one of the reasons why I'm still here and still doing this.
It gives you meaning.
Yeah,
too, you
for
know?
sure. Well, I think we really needed a new challenge, you know, in many ways, especially after all that happened, you know, with Peter coming back and leaving again, and we needed to turn things around and needed a new challenge. So instead of just throwing out another album with 11, 12 songs, we needed to make something bigger, something more epic. And plus, I think it was important for each member to step up and kind of, you know, contribute with songwriting and you know, lyrics even. So it's really a matter of a band effort, this new album.
And I've talked to some younger metal fans, 24-ish, and they seem to be lost by what the double album means. And I think at one point it was like it would count as 2 releases for a label. Is there a business side to a double album that you can explain? Maybe?
Not really, no. I mean, it doesn't count as 2 albums,
Not
2 sold, no. So that was never the reason.
Right.
The only reason was I mean, I think it gave us freedom to really express ourselves and kind of break the boundaries, you know.
Yeah, I definitely hear a lot more. Well, I mean, you've always had that prog metal keyboard sound, but I really hear it on this album.
Yeah.
It's a really melodic album, more so than, I mean, you've always had melody in your music, but I think it's more substantial in this one. And I just want, and a lot of people criticize that as like a sellout. You know, it's like the purists would be like, oh, it's not pure death metal anymore.
Yeah.
Do you have an answer for that?
Well, you know, we've always heard that ever since I started adding like clean vocals, that you know, automatically seemed like it was a sellout, but it was never about that. You know, it was basically just me wanting to develop as a singer. You know, I didn't want to get stuck. You know, and people who wants to do screamy vocals all their life, you know, and loves that. You know, I totally respect that, but that wasn't for me. I even though I love screaming, I wanted to do other ways, like other things, and finding ways of expressing myself. You know, so it was a natural thing for me, and it was never like, oh, guys, we need to sell some records here, so I'm going to start singing melodic. You know, it was never about that. Not really. I mean, I took some vocal lessons before Predator's Portrait album, and like just a couple of lessons, just to kind of get the confidence. Like, hey, I can actually sing. He says I'm a good singer, kind of like that. But after that, I've been really, you know, trying to practice on my own to different types of music, and you know, and obviously touring makes you get to know your vocal cords a lot better.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're on tour right now until North America wise until May. Yeah. And you have like 2 nights off.
Yes.
How is that on your voice? What do you do to take care of it?
It's fine actually, as long as I don't get sick. It's usually fine. I guess I'm so used to it, like kind of, you know, switching from cleans to screams to whatever. So. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't always been like that. You know, in the beginning, for example, Natural Born Chaos, when we took that on the road, it was rough, for sure. But now it's pretty. I wouldn't say it's easy, but you know, it's fairly smooth.
Get used to it.
Yeah. We're working on you know, releasing a DVD. It's been a long time coming, for sure, and it's kind of ridiculous how we don't have one single DVD out there. So. We'll definitely work on that, and I guess that will be turned into like an audio live album as well. So,
because you guys have been around for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
The Living Infinite is your 9th album.
Yeah.
So I imagine a live album as a 10th album would be kind of a nice.
That's true.
Nice thing.
Yeah.
A special gift box or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any plans for your anniversaries?
Well, yeah, we are talking about it right now. You know, to make a little, like a box set, as you said, and then maybe with a live album, and even like live album on vinyl would be fantastic too.